last week at my Toastmaster meeting when I was playing the role of the chairperson. As a chair, you have the pleasure of opening the meeting, controlling the meeting, taking the audience through various segments of the meeting. But more than anything else, you also select a theme for the meeting, and it was not hard for me to select relationships as a theme for last week's Toastmaster meeting in my club. It was very interesting that I had the pleasure and the absolute privilege to share my views on relationships, how I see relationships, what are good relationships, what are more meaningful relationships, and a lot of us, a lot of other members of Toastmasters who were participating in the meeting also had their views that they were sharing with all of us. And the beauty is that there was a lot of commonality, a lot of similarity in our views on relationships. The way I see relationships as to be one of the most important essence in our life, in the way we progress, in the way we conduct our life, is a factor of the kind of relationships that we have, and the kind of relationships that we have also helps us in how we have to run or how we run our lives. There is a set of relationships that we all are born with. So when a child is born, he or she has the relationships of parents, siblings, grandparents, maybe, uncles, aunts, cousins, and those individuals form the relationships that he is born with or she is born with. He is introduced, she is introduced to these relationships, and the child is told, according to the social norms, the cultural value systems of that particular group, that child is told ways and means to carry out and to interact with those relationships. So I remember as a child having some great get-togethers where a lot of kids my age, my cousins, we used to get together and we used to play in our neighborhoods, and we used to play a very interesting game named Darkroom. There is another set of relationships that we have with individuals who we meet as we engage with our world. So as a child grows to becoming a student in school, in university, he or she then begins to interact with his or her environment respectively, and in that he or she develops relationships with people who you study with, who you play with, who are teachers and professors to you, who teach you things, who help you grow to be a better individual. You have relationships with your peers, you have relationships with your classmates, you have relationships with your colleagues, sometimes not very pleasant relationships with people who you work with because of pressures, because of competition, and that can cause stress. There can be relationships with people who you engage with while you are pursuing a hobby. For example, Toastmasters. For example, my running groups. I have some very fabulous relationships with individuals who I have gone for a run with, or who are my gym friends, call them gym buddies, my Toastmaster friends, my friends from work, my car, my I remember having relationships with some friends, some fellows who I went to gauged as how good you are as a student. So the circumstances were common, and that common circumstances helped you build very close, very deep, very meaningful relationships. The third set of relationships that I would be talking about, I'm very passionate about this, and I would request you to pay extra attention to this aspect of relationships that you may have. And this relationship is not what you have with people who you're born with, for example, or born in their presence. This is not a relationship that you have with people that you engage in a common pursuit. This is a relationship that you have with your own self, with your own skills, with your own hobbies, abilities, strengths, your passion. And it is your understanding, your recognizing that what you have, the skills that you have, that will make you a better individual. So, I strongly believe in having a great, in fact, even a romantic relationship with your skills, with your abilities, with your strengths, so that you can develop them. You can grow those skills and come out as a better individual, as a better professional, as a better person with those sets of abilities and with those sets of skills. So, there are three types of relationships. Relationships that you're born with, relationships that you create in your engagement with life, and the relationship that you have with your own self and your own abilities, your passion, your pursuit, your hobbies, your skills. It is important to understand that all these relationships are important, and who knows, the relationships that you're born with can turn out to be one of your most valuable relationships. Relationships that you have with your siblings can be great relationships, with your parents can be profound relationships. So recognize good relationships, trust them, develop them, hone them, and travel with them. It's very important. At this note, I would like to say thank you very much for visiting and listening to my few words and my thoughts. Please I look forward to speaking to you again and coming up with another topic that is going to add value to one's road to mastery. I'm not a guru, I'm not a master myself, but I'm on the road to acquire skills, abilities to improve the quality of my life, to be a master, a sound individual in some of the most important things that are valuable to me. And as I am on that journey, I would like to share my thoughts, my feelings, my sentiments, my learnings, my mistakes with all of you. I wish you well. Take care of yourself. Thank you very much, and have an awesome day. Thank you.